Today, I'm going to be reading the Bible a little early. I'm popping on today. I'm going to get on. I'm reading day 47, reading the Bible live in 90 days. I've been reading generally at, 10, 10:30, somewhere around there. Between 9 and 11, I've been getting on and reading. But today, I'm going to get on, and I am going to read the Bible live, right? And sorry, I'm trying to share my screen. I'm going to be reading the rest of Proverbs today, day 47. Going to be reading Proverbs 17 through 31. When you get on, if you haven't yet, if you want to subscribe to the channel, if you want to like, share, comment, let me know where you're watching from. It's always cool to go back later and see who has popped on, who has looked. All right. So just want to make sure everything's working. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm reading Proverbs 17 through 31 today. Better is a dry morsel with quietness than a house full of feasting with strife. A wise servant will rule over a son who causes shame, and will share inheritance among the brothers. The refining pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold. But the Lord tests the hearts. An evildoer gives heed to false lips. A liar listens eagerly to spiteful tongue. He who mocks the poor reproaches his maker. He who is glad at calamity will not go unpunished. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children is their father. Excellent speech is not becoming to a fool, much less lying lips to a prince. A present is a precious stone in the eyes of its possessor. Wherever he turns, he prospers. He who covers a transgression seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates friends. Rebuke is more effective for a wise man than 100 blows on a fool. An evil man seeks only rebellion. Therefore, a cruel messenger will be sent against him. Let a man meet a bear robbed of her cubs, rather than a fool in his folly. Whoever rewards evil for good, evil will not depart from his house. The beginning of strife is like releasing water. Therefore, stop contention before quarrel starts. He who justifies the wicked and he who condemns is just. Both of them are like abomination to the Lord. Why is the hand of a fool the purchase price of wisdom, since he has no heart for it? A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. A man devoid of understanding shakes hands in a pledge and becomes surety for his friend. He who loves transgression loves strife, and he who exalts his gate seeks destruction. He who has deceitful heart finds no good, and he who has a perverse tongue falls into evil. He who begots a scoffer does so to his sorrow, and the father of a fool has no joy. A merry heart does good like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones. A wicked man accepts a bribe behind the back to pervert the ways of justice. Wisdom in the sight of him who has understanding, but the eyes of a fool are on the ends of the earth. A foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her who bore him. Also, to punish the righteous is not good, nor to strike princes for the righteous uprightness. He who has knowledge spares his words, and a man of understanding is of a calm spirit. Even a fool is counted wise when he holds his peace. When he shuts, he is considered perceptive. A man who isolates himself seeks his own desire. He rages against all wise judgment. A fool has no delight in understanding, but in expressing his own heart. When the wicked comes, contempt also comes, and with dishonor comes reproach. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters. The wellspring of wisdom is a flowing brook. It is not good to show partiality to the wicked, or to overthrow the righteous in judgment. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calls for blows. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. The words of a talebearer are like tasty trifles, and they go down in the inmost. He who is slothful in his work is a brother to him who is a great destroyer. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and like a high wall in his own esteem. Before destruction, the heart of a man is haughty, and before honor is humility. He who answers a matter before he hears it, it is folly and shame to him. The spirit of a man will sustain him in sickness, but who can bear a broken spirit? The heart of the prudent acquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seek knowledge. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. The one to plead his cause seems right until his neighbor comes and examines him. Casting lots causes contentions to cease and keeps the mighty apart. A brother offended is harder to win than a strong city, and contentions are like the bars of a castle. A man's stomach shall be satisfied from the fruit of his mouth. From the produce of his lips he shall be filled. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and he who love it will eat its fruit. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. The poor man uses entreaties, but the rich answers roughly. A man who has friends must himself be friendly, but there is a friend who sticks closer to than a brother. Better is the poor who walks in his integrity than the one who is perverse in his lips and is a fool. Also, it is not good for a soul to be without knowledge, and he sins who hastens with his feet. The foolishness of man twists his way, and his heart frets against the Lord. Wealth makes many friends, but the poor is separated from his friend. A false witness will not go unpunished. He who speaks lies will not escape. Many entreat the favor of the nobility, and every man is a friend to one who gives him gifts. All the brothers of the poor hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? He may pursue them with words, that yet they abandon him. He who gets wisdom loves his own soul, and he who keeps understanding will find good. He who speaks lies shall perish. Luxury is not fitting for a fool, much less for a servant to rule over princes. The discretion of a man makes him slow to anger, and his glory is to overlook a transgression. The king's wrath is like a roaring lion, but his favor like the dew on the grass. A foolish son is the ruin of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dripping. Houses and riches are inheritance from fathers, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. Laziness casts one into a deep sleep, and an idle person will suffer hunger. He who keeps the commandment keeps his soul, but he who is careless of his ways will die. And he who has pity on the poor will lends to the Lord, and he will pay back what is given. Chasten your son while there is hope, and do not set your heart on his destruction. A man of great wrath will suffer punishment, for if you rescue him, you will have to do it again. Listen to the counsel and receive instruction, that you may be wise in your latter days. There are many plans in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the Lord's counsel that will stand. What is desired in a man is kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar. The fear of the Lord leads to life. He who has it will abide in satisfaction. He will not be visited with evil. A lazy man buries his hand in the bowl and will not so much as bring it to his mouth again. Strike a scoffer, and the simple will become wary. Rebuke one who has understanding, and he will discern knowledge. He who mistreats his father and chases away his mother. If a son is a son who causes shame and brings reproach. Cease listening to instruction, my son, and you will stray from the words of knowledge. A disreputable witness scorns justice, and the mouth of the wicked devours iniquity. Punishments are prepared for scoffers, and beatings for the back of fools. Wine is a mocker, strong drink is a brawler, and whoever is led astray by it is not wise. The wrath of a king is like the roaring of a lion. Whoever provokes him to anger sins against his own life. It is honorable for a man to stop striving, since any fool can start a quarrel. The lazy man will not plow because of winter, and he will beg during harvest and have nothing. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but of understanding will draw it out. Most men will proclaim each of his goodnesses. But who can find a faithful man? The righteous man walks in his integrity. His children are blessed after him. A king who sits on the throne of judgment scatters all evil with his eyes. Who can say, I have made my heart clean? I am pure from my sin. Diverse weights and diverse measures, they are both alike an abomination to the Lord. Even as a child is known by his deeds, whether what he does is pure and right. The hearing ear and seeing eye, the Lord has made both of them. Do not love sleep, lest you come to poverty. Open your eyes, and you will be satisfied with bread. It is good for nothing, cries the buyer, but when he has gone his way, then he boasts. There is gold in multitudes of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a precious jewel. Take the garment of one who is surety for a stranger, and hold it as a pledge when it is for a seductress. Bread gained by deceit is sweet to man, but afterwards his mouth will be filled. Plans are established by counsel. By wise counsel wage war. He who goes about as a talebearer reveals secrets. Therefore, do not associate with one who flatters with his lips. Whoever curses his father or his mother, his lamp will be put out in deep darkness. An inheritance gained hastily at the beginning will not be blessed at the end. Do not say, I will recompense evil. Wait for the Lord, and he will save you. Diverse weights are a nation to the Lord, and a dishonest scale are not good. A man of the Lord, how then can a man understand his own way? It is a snare for a man to devote something to holy, and afterward reconsider his vows. A wise king sifts out the wicked and brings the threshing wheel over them. The spirit of a man is a lamp of the Lord, searching all the inner depths of his heart. Mercy and truth preserve the king, and by loving kindness he upholds his throne. The glory of a young man is their strength, and the splendor of an old man is a gray head. Blows that hurt cleanse away evil, and do stripes the inner depths of the heart. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, like the rivers of water. He turns it wherever he wishes. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the hearts. To do righteousness and justice is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. A haughty look and a proud heart and the plowing of the wicked are. The plans of the diligent lead surely to plenty, but those of everyone who is hasty surely poverty. Getting treasures by a lying tongue is the fleeting fantasy of those who seek death. The violence of the wicked will destroy them because they refuse to do justice. The way of the guilty man is perverse, but as for the pure, his heart is right. Better to dwell in a corner of a housetop than the house shared with a contentious woman. The soul of the wicked desires evil. His neighbor finds no favor in his eyes. When the scholar is punished, the simple is made wise. But when the wise is instructed, he receives knowledge. The righteous God wisely considers the house of the wicked, overthrowing the wicked for their wickedness. Whoever shuts his ears to the cry of the poor will also cry himself and not be heard. A gift in secret pacifies anger, and a bribe behind the back, strong wrath. It is a joy for the just to do justice, but destruction will come to the workers of iniquity. A man who wanders from the way of understanding will rest in the assembly of the dead. He who loves pleasure will be a poor man. He who loves wine and oil will not be rich. The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous, and the unfaithful for the upright. Better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. There is a desirable treasure and oil and dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man squanders it. He who follows righteousness and mercy finds life, righteousness, and honor. A wise man scales the city of the mighty and brings down the trust of the stronghold. Whoever guards his mouth and tongue keeps his soul from troubles. A proud and haughty man, scoffer is his name. He acts with arrogant pride. The desire of a lazy man kills him, for his hands refuse to labor. He covets greedily all day long, but the righteous gives and does not spare. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination. How much more when he brings it with intent? A false witness shall perish, but the man who hears him shall speak endlessly. A wicked man hardens his face, but as for the upright, he establishes his way. There is no wisdom or understanding or counsel against the Lord. The horse is prepared for the day, but deliverance is of the Lord. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. Loving favor rather than silver and gold. The rich and the poor have the same in common. The Lord is the maker of them all. A prudent man foresees evil and hides himself, but the simple passes on and are punished. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor of life. The thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse. He who guards his soul will be far from them. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is a servant of the lender. He who sows iniquity will reap sorrow, and the rod of his anger will fail. He who has a generous eye will be blessed, for he gives of his bread to the poor. Cast out the scoffer, and contention will leave. Yes, strife and reproach will cease. He who loves purity of heart and has grace on his lips, the king will be his friend. The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, but he overthrows the words of the faithless. The lazy man says, there's a lion outside. I shall be slain in the streets. But the mouth of the immoral woman is as a deep pit. He who is abhorred by the Lord will fall there. Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of correction will drive it far from him. He who oppresses the poor increases his riches, but he who gives to the rich will surely come to poverty. Incline in your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your heart to my knowledge. For it is a pleasant thing if you keep them within you. Let them also be fixed upon your lips, so that your trust may be in the Lord. I have instructed you today, even you. Have I not written to you excellent things of counsels and knowledge, that I may make you know the certainty of the true words of truth, that you may answer words of truth to those who send you? Do not rob the poor because he is poor, nor oppress the afflicted at the gate. For the Lord will please their cause and plunder the soul of those who plunder them. Make no friendship with the angry man, and with the furious man do not go, lest you learn his ways and set a snare for your soul. Do not be one of those who shakes hands with in a pledge, one of those who is surety for debts. If you have nothing with which to pay, why should he take away your bed from you? Do not remove the ancient landmark which your fathers have set. Do not see a man who excels in his work. He will stand before kings. He will not stand before unknown men. When you sit down to eat with a ruler, consider carefully what is before you, and put a knife to your throat. If you are a man given to appetite, do not desire his delicacies, for they are deceptive food. Do not overwork to be rich. Because of your own understanding, cease. Will you set your eyes on that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings, then fly away like an eagle toward heaven. Do not eat the bread of a miser, nor desire his delicacies. For he thinks in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. The morsel you have eaten, you will vomit up and waste your pleasant words. Do not speak in the hearing of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of your words. Do not remove the ancient landmark, nor enter the fields of the fatherless, for their Redeemer is mighty. He will plead their cause against you. Apply your heart to instruction, and your ears to words of knowledge. Do not withhold correction from a child, for if you beat him with a rod, he will not die. You shall beat him with a rod and deliver his soul from hell. My son, if your heart is wise, my heart will rejoice indeed, I myself. Yes, my inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak right things. Do not let your heart envy sinners. Be zealous for the fear of the Lord all the day. For surely there is a hereafter, and your hope will not be cut off. Hear, my son, and be wise, and guide your heart in the way. Do not mix with winebibbers or with gluttonous eaters of meat, for the drunkard and the glutton will come to poverty, and drowsiness will clothe a man with rags. Listen to your father who begot you, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Buy the truth and do not sell it. All wisdom and instruction and understanding, the father of the righteous will greatly rejoice, and he who begets a wise child will delight in him. Let your father and your mother be glad, and let her who bore you rejoice. My son, give me your heart, and let your eyes observe my ways. For a harlot is a deep pit, and a seductress a narrow well. She also lies in wait as for a victim, and increases the unfaithful among men. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has contentions? Who has complaints? Who has wounds without cause? Who has redness of eyes? Those who linger long at the wine, those who go in search of mixed wine. Do not look on the wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it swirls around smoothly. At the last bites like a serpent and stings like a viper. Your eyes will see strange things, and your heart will utter perverse things. Yes, you will be like one who lies down in the midst of the sea, or like one who lies at the top of the mast, saying, they have struck me, but I was not hurt. They have beaten me, but I did not feel it. When shall I awake that I may seek another drink? Do not be envious of evil men, nor desire to be with them, for their heart devises violence, and their lips talk of troublemaking. Through wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. By knowledge the rooms are filled with all precious and unpleasant riches. A wise man is strong. Yes, a man of knowledge increases strength. For by wise counsel you will wage your war. In the multitude of counselors there is safety. Wisdom is too lofty for a fool. He does not open his mouth in the gate. He who plots to do evil will be called a schemer. The devising of the foolishness is sin. A scoffer is abomination to men. If you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. Deliver those who are drawn toward death, and hold back those stumbling to slaughter. If you say, surely we do not know this, does not he who weighs the heart consider it? He who keeps your soul, does he not know it? And he will not render to each man according to his deeds. My son, eat honey because it is good, and the honeycomb which is sweet to your taste. So shall the knowledge of wisdom be to your soul. If you have found it, there is a prospect, and your hope will not be cut off. Do not lie in wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of your righteous. Do not plunder the resting place. For a righteous man may fall 7 times and rise again, but the wicked shall fall by calamity. Do not rejoice when your enemy falls. Do not let your heart be glad when he stumbles, lest the Lord see it and it displeases him, and turn away his wrath from him. Do not fret because of evildoers, nor be envious of the wicked, for there will be no prospect for the evil man. The lamp of the wicked will be put out. My son, fear the Lord and the king. Do not associate with those given to change, for their calamity will rise suddenly. Who knows the ruin those two can bring? These things also belong to the wise. It is not good to show partiality in judgment. He who says to the wicked, you are righteous, him the people will curse. Nations will abhor him. But those who rebuke the wicked will have delight, and a good blessing will come upon them. He who gives a right answer kisses the lips. Prepare your work outside. Make it fit for yourself in the field, and afterward build your house. Do not be a witness against your neighbor without cause, for you would deceive your lips. Do not say, I will do to him just as he has done to me. I will render to the man according to his work. I went by the field of the lazy man, and by the vineyard of the man devoid of understanding. And there it was, all overgrown with thorns, its surface covered with nettles. Its stone wall was broken down. I considered it well. I looked on it and received instruction. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. So shall your poverty come like a prowler, and your need like an armed man. Therefore, also are these also are Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied. It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, but the glory of kings is to search out a matter. As the heavens for height and the earth for depth, so the heart of a king is unsearchable. Take away the dross from silver, and it'll go down to the silversmith for jewelry. Take away the wicked from before the king, and his throne will be established in righteousness. Do not exalt yourself in the presence of the king. Do not stand in the place of the great. For it is better that he say to you, come up here, than you should be put lower in the presence of the king or the prince. When your eyes have seen, do not go hastily into the court. For what will you do in the end? When your neighbor has put you to shame, debate your case with your neighbor, and do not disclose the secret to another, lest he who hears it exposes your shame and your reputation be ruined. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in the settings of silver, like an earring of gold in an ornament of fine gold. It is a wine rebuker to an obedient ear, like the cold of the snow in a harvest time, is a messenger to those who send him, for he refers the soul of his masters. Whoever falsely boasts of giving is like clouds and wind without rain. By long forbearance, a ruler is persuaded, and a gentle tongue breaks a bone. Have you found honey? Eat only as much as you need, lest you be filled with it and vomit. Seldom set foot in your neighbor's house, lest he become weary of you and hate you. A man who bears false witness against his neighbor is like a club, a sword, a sharp arrow. Confidence in his unfaithful man in a time of trouble is like a bad tooth in a foot out of joint, like one who takes away a garment in a cold weather, and like vinegar and soda is one who sings songs to a heavy heart. If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink. For you will heap coals of fire on his head, and the Lord will reward you. The north wind brings forth rain, and a backbiting tongue and angry countenance. It is better to dwell in a corner of a housetop than in a house shared with a contentious woman. As cold water to a weary soul, so is good news from a far country. A righteous man who falters before the wicked is like a murky spring in a polluted well. It is not good to eat too much honey. So to seek one's own glory is not glory. Whoever has no rule over his own spirit is like a city broken down without walls. As snow is summer and rain is harvest, so honor is not fitting for a fool. Like a splitting sparrow, like a flying swallow, so a curse without cause shall not alight. A whip for the horse and a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the fool. Spack, do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also be like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. He who sends a message by the hand of a fool cuts off his own feet with violence. Like the legs of the lame and that hang limp is a proverb of the mouth of fools. Like one who binds a stone in a sling, his honor to the fool, like a thorn that goes into the hand of the drunkard, is a proverb in the mouth of fools. The great God who formed everything gives the fool his hire and transgressor his wages. As a dog returns to his vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him. The lazy man says there's a lion on the road, a fierce lion in the streets. As a door turns on its hinges, so does a lazy man on his bed. The lazy man his hand, it wears to bring it back to his mouth. The lazy man is wiser in his own eyes than 7 men who can answer sensibly. He who passes by and meddles in a quarrel is not his own, is like one who takes a dog by the ears, like a madman who throws brands and arrows and death. Is a man who deceives his neighbors and is saying, I was only joking. There is no wood, fire goes out, and no talebearer strife ceases. As charcoal is burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. The words of a talebearer are like tasty trifles. They go down into the innermost body. Fervent lips and wicked heart are like the earth wherein taste disguises it with lips. and lays up deceit with himself. When he speaks kindly, we do not believe him. For there are 7 abominations in the heart. Though his hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness will be revealed by the assembly. Whoever digs a pit will fall into it, and he who rolls a stone will have it roll back on him. A lying tongue hates those who are crushed by it, and a flattering tongue or a flattering mouth works ruin. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring forth. Let a man praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger, and not your own lips. A stone is heavy, and sand is weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than both of them. Wrath is cruel, and anger a torrent, but he who is able to stand before a jealousy. Open rebuke is better than love carefully concealed. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. A satisfied soul loathes the honeycomb, but to a hungry soul, every bitter thing is sweet. Like a bird that wanders from its nest is a man who wanders from his place. Ointment and perfume delight his heart. The sweetness of a man's friend gives delight by hearty counsel. Do not forsake your own friend or your father's friend, nor go to your brother's house in the day of your calamity. Better is a neighbor nearby than a brother far away. My son, be wise and make my heart glad, that I may answer him who reproaches me. A prudent man foresees evil and hides himself. The simple pass on and are punished. Take the garment of him who is surety for a stranger, and hold it in pledge when he is surety for a seductress. He who blesses his friend with a loud voice rising early in the morning, it'll be counted a curse to him. A continual dripping on every very rainy day, and contentious women are alike. Whoever restrains her restrains the wind, and grasps oil with his right hand. As iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. Whoever keeps the fig tree will eat its fruit, so who waits on his master will be honored. As in water, face reflects face, so a man's heart reveals the man. Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of a man are never satisfied. The refining pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold. A man is valued by what others say of him. Though you grind a fool in a mortar with a pestle along with crushed grain, yet his foolishness will not depart from him. But diligent to be know that the state your flocks, and attend to your herds. For riches are not forever, nor does a crown endure to all generations. When the hay is removed and the tender grass shows itself, the herb and the mountains are gathered in. The lambs will provide your clothing, and the goats will the price of a field. You shall have enough goat's milk for your food, for the food of your household, and the nourishment of your maid servants. The wicked may flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are bold as lion. Because the transgression of the land, many are in its princes. But by a man of understanding and knowledge, right will be prolonged. A poor man who oppresses the poor is like a driving rain, which leaves no food. Those who forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. Evil men do not understand justice, but those who seek the Lord understand all. Better is the poor who walks in his integrity than one perverse in his ways, though he be rich. Whoever keeps the law is a discerning son, but a companion of gluttons shames his father. One who increases his possession by usury and extortion gathers it for him who will pity the poor. One who turns away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is an abomination. Whoever causes the upright to go astray is an evil way. He himself will fall into his own pit. But the blameless will inherit good. The rich man is wise in his own ways, but the poor has understanding, searches out. When the righteous rejoice, there's great glory. The wicked arise, men hide themselves. He who covers his sins will not prosper, but whoever confesses and forsakes them will have mercy. Happy is the man who is always reverent, but he who hardens his heart will fall into calamity. Like a roaring lion and a charging bear is a wicked ruler over people. A ruler who lacks understanding is a great oppressor, but he who hates covetous will prolong his days. A man burdened with bloodshed will flee into a pit. Let no one help him. Whoever walks blamelessly will be saved, but he who is perverse in his ways will suddenly fall. He who tills his land will have plenty of bread, and he who follows frivolity will have poverty enough. A faithful man will abound with blessings, but he who hastens to be rich will not go unpunished. To show partiality is not good, because for a piece of bread a man will transgress. A man with an evil eye hastens after riches, and do not consider that poverty will come upon him. He who rebukes a man will find more favor afterward than he who flatters with the tongue. Whoever robs his father or his mother and says it is no transgression, the same is companion of the destroyer. He who is a proud heart stirs up strife, but he who trusts in the Lord will be prospered. He who trusts in his own heart is a fool, but whoever walks wisely will be delivered. He who gives to the poor will not lack, but he who hides his eyes will have many curses. When the wicked arises, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. Oh, excuse me. He who is oft rebuked and hardens his neck will be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked man rules, the people groan, and whoever loves wisdom makes his father rejoice. But a companion of harlots wastes his wealth. The king establishes the land by justice. He who receives bribes overthrows it. A man who flatters his neighbors spreads a net for his feet. By transgression, an evil man is snared, and a righteous sings and rejoices. The righteous consider the cause of the poor, but the wicked does not understand such knowledge. Scoffers set a city aflame, but wise men turn away wrath. If a wise man contends with a foolish man, whether the fool rages or laughs, there is no peace. The bloodthirsty hate the blameless, but the upright seek his well-being. A fool vents all of his feelings, but a wise man holds them back. If a ruler pays attention to lies, all his servants become wicked. The poor man and the oppressor have this in common. The Lord gives light to to the eyes of both. The king who judges the poor with truth, his throne will be established forever. The rod and rebuke give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings shame to his mother. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous will see their fall. Correct your son, and he will give you rest. Yes, he will give you the delight to your soul. When there is no revelation, the people cast off restraint. But happy is he who keeps the law. A servant will not be corrected by mere words, for though he understands, he will not respond. Do you see a man hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than for him. He who pampers his servants from childhood will have a son in the end. An angry man stirs up strife, and a furious man abounds in transgression. A man's pride will bring him low, but the humble in spirit will retain honor. Whoever is a partner with a thief hates his own life. He swears to tell the truth, but reveals nothing. The fear of man brings a snare, and whoever trusts in the Lord shall be safe. Seek rulers' favor, but justice for man comes from the Lord. An unjust man is an abomination to the righteous. He who is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. The words of Agur, the son of Jekiah. His utterance, the man declared to Ithiel until you call. Surely I am more stupid than any man, and do not have understanding of man. I neither learned wisdom nor have had knowledge of the Holy One, who has ascended into heaven or descended, who has gathered the wind in his fist, who has bound the waters in his garment, who has established all the ends of the earth. What is his name, and what is his son's name? If you know, every good word of God is pure. He is a shield to those who put their trust in him. Do not add to his words, lest he rebuke you, and you found a liar. 2 things I request of you: deprive me not before I die. Remove falsehood and lies from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with the food allotted to me, lest I be full and deny you, and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal, and profane the name of my God. Do not malign a servant to his master, lest he curse you, and you be found guilty. There is a generation that curses its fathers and does not bless its mother. There is a generation that is pure in its own eyes, yet is not washed from the filthiness. There is a generation, oh, how lofty their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are like swords, whose fangs are like knives, to devour the poor from the earth, and the needy from among men. The leech has two daughters. Give and give. There are three things that are never satisfied. Four never say enough: the grave, the barren womb, the earth that is not satisfied with water, and the fire never says enough. The eyes that mock his father and the scorns obedience to his mother. The ravens of the valley will pluck it out or pick it out, and the young will eat it. There are three things which are too wonderful to me. Yes, four which I do not understand: the way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent on a rock, and the way of a ship in the midst of a sea, and the way of a man with a virgin. This is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats and wipes her mouth and says, I have done no wickedness. For three things the earth is perturbed. Yes, the fourth it cannot bear up. For a servant when he reigns, a fool when he's filled with food, and a hateful woman when she is married, and a maidservant who exceeds her mistress. There are four things which are little on the earth, but they are exceedingly wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their food in the summer. The rock badgers are a feeble folk, yet they make their homes in the crags. The locusts have no king, yet they all advance in ranks. The spider skillfully grasps with his hands, and its king's palaces. There are three things which are majestic in pace, yes, four which are stately in walk: a lion which is mighty among beasts and does not turn away from any, a greyhound, a male goat also, and a king whose troops are with him. If you have been foolish and exalted yourself, or have devised evil, put your hand on your mouth. For as churning of a milk produces butter, and wringing to the nose produces blood, so the force of wrath produces strife. The words of King Lemuel, utterance which his mother taught him. What, my son? What, my son of my womb? What, my son of my bowels? Do not give your strength to women, nor your ways to that which destroys kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes intoxicating drink, lest they drink and forget the law, and pervert the justice of the afflicted. Give strong drink to him who is perishing, and wine to those who are bitter of heart. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery in the cause of all who are appointed to die. Open your mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and willingly works with her hands. She is like a merchant ship. She brings food from afar. She also rises while it's yet night and provides food for her household and a portion for her maidservants. She considers a field and bides it. For her profits, she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good, and her lamp does not go out by night. She stretches out her hands to the distaff, and her hand hold the spindle. She extends her hand to the poor. She reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household is clothed with scarlet. She makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies sashes to the merchants. Strength and honor in her clothing. She shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and of her tongue is the law of kindness. She watches over the ways of the household and does not eat bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also and praises her. Many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman or she shall be praised. Give her fruit. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise. All right. Day 47 done. I had, like I said, I got on here early to read today. And tomorrow I'll be I'll be getting back on next. I'll be getting in and reading Ecclesiastes, one of my favorite books in the Bible. I mean, I've said about them all. I just love the Word of God. So, like I said, if you're watching later, I appreciate you getting on, watching. I appreciate your time. If you want to sow into what we're doing here, we appreciate everything you sow goes into helping improve the quality of the live stream and helps us push this further and get it out to more people. So I appreciate everything people are sowing and helping into this. If you want to partner with what we're doing, like I said, it is $rooted in Christ 73 on Cash App. You can just scan the QR code. It will take you there on the screen. Like I said, we appreciate that very much. And we will see you guys next time. God bless you.